students. Today we're discussing about cash and credit control. And this will discuss about the credit transactions and cash control, how we control and what are the various process and procedures how credit transaction happens. And usually in all hotel, 5-star hotel, we do have credit manager, one who look after all the credit transactions. Let's see what credit control. A guest room is the most perishable article and sold in any type of business. The income today is the vacant room is lost and it lost forever and we can't resell it again. And credit limit depends on the operation, the level of charges and the type of the guest. It could be vary from the guest to guest. It could be corporate guest or either regular guest, or it could be representing any management. Why is credit control necessary? Hotel needs to have a healthy cash flow in order to survive and succeed to try to achieve excellent control and the credit given the guest. It depends on the guest how the credit transaction happens, and guest to guest the credit it changes, it varies. Functions of the credit department, usually we do have two primary functions. One could be to investigate the financial standing and approve limits of credit of each prospective client, that depending on client to client the credit limit varies, and try to collect the amount due to the customer and fails to live up the norms which is established by the hotel, where usually it takes a healthy time, 1 week, within less 1 week the credit has to be debited and credited to the hotel account. Credit policy of hotel. A credit policy must be to an account marketing objectives of the organizations. It could depending on how big the property, the credit policy changes and it varies. A new hotel as a greater need to attract the business depending on what kind of marketing they do, and well established hotel they need to stick to few kind of marketing strategies. They need to adapt it. Policy for establishing in-house credit, whereas in-house credit usually depending the guest who has checked in and usually utilizing the hotel services. To minimize the bad debts, important to establish clear guidelines for operation of in-house credit provisions. That could be who is going to provide the credit, that the guest, depending on what type of the guest. What reference to security required for extending the credit facilities, that depends on again the sureties and the guarantees. What are the credit limits for individual debtors within the time span they are allowed to pay, and depending on again the reputation, and it could be the mutual understanding in MOU between the corporate, or it could be any company between the hotel and the company. What the process going to undertake the event and default in case if they fail to pay within the stipulated time, how the legal procedure will take care by the hotel. In general, the hotels tend to allow the credit in 3 types of the guests. The following guests: those who have guaranteed bookings, those accounts will be settled by the companies. It could be bill to company, and those who settle their accounts by credit charges. Let's see one by one. The guests with guaranteed bookings, usually the one who has paid in advance by the credit card, or it could be any type of vouchers, and guaranteed booking is done by pre-authorization of the credit card or paid in advance. And they have the guaranteed booking, hence they can get the credit privileges during their stay, during arrival and entire their stay. Settlement by corporate accounts, this is bill to company, and where usually the reputed hotels they do have mutual understanding between the corporate company and hotel, where they do follow up, and before the guest arrives some kind of PI, that is paid in advance, is done, or either within the stipulated time that amount will be credited to the hotel account. Accounts settled by credit or charge card, usually again all the leading hotels and leading chain hotels and leading credit card companies or the bank, they do have mutual understanding, and the credit amount will be within the stipulated time, it will be debited and credited to the hotel account. Objectives of credit and control measures to prevent walkout skippers, and it could be skippers again intentionally, unintentionally, usually it happens in hotel. How perfect the hotel reception or the processing happening, still we do have walkouts, skippers to prevent late settle of accounts. This could be varied, prevent late settlement from the hotel side, or it could be the guest side. To avoid the guest dissatisfaction, this could be we can avoid usually. We need to, during registration process, and what we need to ask, what is the mode of payment and method of payment. Depending on that, we need to communicate to the guest priorly so we can avoid the dissatisfaction of the guest during checkout. Credit control measures during the stage of the guest cycle that depends from pre-arrival, arrival, during stay and the departure. Let's see during the reservations. Check the type of reservation. It could be guaranteed, non-guaranteed, confirmed reservation, and inform the guests with the non-guaranteed bookings that they are required to prepay and check in, that is paid in advance. Ensure the correct rate is quoted depending on type of the guest. The rate varies. Request the prepayments for group bookings, especially packages. Inform the guests cancellation terms and charges. Depending on the group size, number of people required in the group, we need to be very precise and communicate priorly what is the cancellation charges. Check the method of settlement. Method of settlement could be vary again, what type of payment they are doing during the departure. Check the corporate account details for those whose company settled their bills, that is B2C, bill to company. Credit control measures at check-in. Check the reservation status. Travel agent voucher which it covers. It covers all the charges during their stay. It could be incidental charges which is incurred by the guest during their stay. So the receptionist or the front office staff need to be very cautious during the billing. And two groups, again the group reservations, corporate accounts, one need to have a proper knowledge which company got how much discount or what type of rates are we providing. Credit card control measure during occupancy, during the stay of the guest. Bills with high balance are monitored closely, and the credit card manager, one who report every day what is high balance report, day-to-day report, will minimize the bad debts. And credit limit, one need to establish the credit limit. It could be floor limit, house limit, which is set by the company or the credit card company to the account holder. Asking the guest to settle the account within the cashier, or depends, room will be double locked. This concept may lead to consequence, but still we need to take this decision when the guest is not ready to pay, or either he is not paying time to time, where the high balance is exceeded. That time we take this extreme step by double locking the room, and immediately the guest has to be informed that you need to report duty manager or any front office associated. You need to check what is the pending balance and need to be cleared. And high balance report usually generates some day-to-day or either weekly, and one will get to know what is a credit limit or either credit balance left with a particular guest or entire occupancy, which we can minimize and loss and maximize the profits. Credit control measures during checkout. It could be cash payments, credit card payments. With the cash payments, one need to know what type of cash. It could be forex, one need to know the exchange rate, or the cash payments during, one need to be very familiar what type of the cash, and they need to handle, they need to count, or it could be any type of measurements has to be there, and one need to be trained. Credit card company payment, it could be the mutual understanding between the corporate as the credit card company. Travel agent vouchers, one need to know the travel agent vouchers, what all the services will be fulfilled by the travel agent voucher, whether all the incidental charges as being required or if that it will be fulfilled. Direct billing, corporate account, it could be the bill to company. Of recent charges and late charges, both are one of the most important. We need to look into that. Recent charges could be the room IRD service, in-room dining service, or it could be the coffee or anything which has been recently available by the guest. And late charges, again, one need to be very cautious. During checkout of the guest, before, one need to communicate and coordinate with all the departments, with all the POS or the point of sale or the revenue generating areas, one need to be identified, any pending dues are there and need to be posted, and we can minimize the loss. Credit card control measures. After the guest departure, city ledger, all the credit card transactions will be transferred from guest ledger to city ledger, where the city ledger will be taken care by the back office or accounting department within the stipulated time which is set by the hotel according to the policies. This credit card company need to prepay the hotel depending on stipulated time. At the end of each month, the accounts department will send the statements and accounts to the companies for settlement, and payment usually expected within 30 days. If not, it will be considered in delinquent accounts, and it starts from 15, 30, 60 and 90 days, where if one exceeds more than 90 days, legal actions will be taken on that particular client. Thank you, and stay tuned for the next class.